Did you see how confused Bill O'Reilly was about what year it is last night? This is a real what the F moment, but it has major political implications. Let me explain this. Last night on News Nation, Bill O'Reilly, who's a frequent guest on Leland Vittert's show, where I've been a guest also, Bill O'Reilly, as you can tell in this image, he looks confused. He was completely confused about when Jeffrey Epstein was arrested, when he died, who was president at the time, and who was attorney general at the time. In fact, as Leland Vittert explains to Bill O'Reilly here, Epstein was arrested when Trump was president. He died in jail when Trump was president. Merrick Garland was not the attorney general when all of this happened. And at one point, Bill O'Reilly becomes so visibly confused that he just goes silent. He has no idea what to say. I haven't seen anything like this in a long time.
How is he convicted? How do you convict a guy who's dead?
He was convicted in I believe, under Merrick Garland's Justice Department. That could be. Am I wrong on that? I don't think so. And then he was incarcerated, and then he committed suicide. Okay. The suicide thing is bull. Whether you
Bill, I think this is important. Bill, I think this is important. He was arrested in 2019, and he committed suicide in 2019. He died August 10th of 2019. So the Biden administration was not involved in a conviction or a trial of him. They were of Ghislaine Maxwell.
Okay. And that's a good point of clarification. But he was arrested and indicted under Merrick Garland.
No, under Trump.
Who had all of the information.
Epstein was arrested, indicted, and committed suicide under Trump. In 2019, Trump was president. Merrick Garland was not the attorney general.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Oh, I've never seen anything like this. The deer in the headlights. So listen, O'Reilly has no idea what's going on. Fine. We have no idea whether O'Reilly's having a cognitive issue. Did he just forget? Did he never know the facts? There is a critical and consequential aspect to this. A whole bunch of the theorizing and the blame game and the defenses that are happening of Donald Trump right now around the Epstein fiasco are based on people who either don't realize or don't remember or don't care that it was Trump who was president when Epstein was first arrested. It was Trump who was president when Epstein died in custody. When you watch Bill O'Reilly bumble through the timeline, it's like watching the right-wing media ecosystem in a microcosm, either completely confused or pretending to be, because this is not just a gaffe. This is the foundation of an effort to rewrite history. When you look at the defenses and the whataboutism from the MAGA right, it only makes sense if you mistakenly believe that Biden was in charge when Epstein was arrested and later died in custody. Think about it. They say things like, why didn't Biden do anything? Or how come Merrick Garland didn't go after Epstein's network? Which would be relevant questions if it had happened under Biden, but it didn't. Leland Vittert is right. Epstein was arrested in 2019. He died in August of 2019. Trump was the president. It was Bill Barr who was the attorney general, not Garland. They love to say, if there was something here involving Trump, Garland would have released it in 2019. But Bill Barr was the attorney general in 2019. What does Merrick Garland have to do with it? So this is not a random error, this confused timeline. This is the scaffolding on which they've built an entire alternate reality where Trump bears no responsibility and all the failures and conspiracy theories get pinned on Biden. But for that to work, you've got to forget who was in power when it all went down. And that is exactly what O'Reilly demonstrates, a kind of politically convenient amnesia that helps keep Trump's hands clean in the public narrative. So O'Reilly, maybe he's just confused, but it is this misunderstanding, who was in charge when all of that went down, that has fueled so much of the nonsense that we've been hearing. On the bonus show today, Republicans in Congress are now shifting to backing Ukraine. Why? Because Trump's doing it. They just do whatever Trump does. Number two, Josh Hawley has introduced a bill to cancel Medicaid cuts that he just voted for. What? And Mike Waltz is now blaming the Signalgate fiasco on Biden. You've got to hear how he's coming up with this one. All of those stories and more on today's bonus show. You can sign up at joinpacman.com. And remember that you can have a daily news-only mini podcast of the show emailed to you in the morning if you get on my Substack newsletter, substack.davidpakman.com. It's a 3-minute preview of everything on the show, just the facts, through our Substack, substack.davidpakman.com. I'll see you on the bonus show. I'll be back tomorrow. Most people trying to lose weight focus on diet and exercise, which makes perfect sense. Sometimes habits and behaviors can also play an outsized role. And our sponsor, Hypnosio, is a self-hypnotherapy app designed to help with things like emotional eating, cravings, portion control. If you're working on healthier habits, something like this can help to reinforce the changes you're trying to make. Hypnosio guides you through short hypnotherapy sessions, just a few minutes a day. The idea here is let's bring stress down, let's increase mindfulness around food, and just build some longer-term consistency. Many users say Hypnosio helps them to pause or reset in a moment where they might reach out for food out of emotion or out of habit, and it just creates a little bit of space, a little bit of breathing room to make a more intentional choice instead of just following old patterns. So many people have found Hypnosio useful as a way to stay on track, especially when dealing with like yo-yo dieting or stress eating. If that sounds familiar to you and you're curious, you can go to davidpakman.com/hypnosio and use the code PAKMAN15 for 15% off your first plan. The link is in the description.